It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello?
Bruce wants to talk about some philosophical stuff tonight. Let's get started, shall we?
Hey boys and girls, it's me again. Welcome back to my shop. Today, as the title somewhat suggested, I don't know what the title's going to be yet, but I'm sure I'll put something cool in there. I'm restoring toys, and that's what I do here at General Custom Toys, other than my eBay page, whatever you want to call them, eBay store. Today, I restored 3 X-Wings. These guys. 3 X-Wings, 1978 Kenner X-Wings. And I had a lot of fun doing it. I really enjoy restoring old toys. For some reason, I keep gravitating toward the X-Wings. I mean, they're actually very easy for me. They're easier for you, too. But today, I started thinking, if you look over here on that table back there, you see the other 2 that I did. And I'm also, and I got frustrated, so I decided to take a break and make a video. I got frustrated on this land speeder, and you see it's in pieces because I got frustrated. So I set it aside. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a time out. I'm having a problem with the gear shift and the springs that put the wheels up and down. If you're a Star Wars guy, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just decided to take a break, set it aside, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a video because I had another thought that came into my brain, and I want to talk about that tonight. I'm at the point right now where I have literally restored easily 1,000 toys. Easily. Mostly Star Wars. I do other things too, but the Star Wars toys, I have easily, for other people, have restored 1,000 toys. It's fair to say. I've been doing this for years. Today, I did the 2 back here, and I'm working on this one. Now, this one I want to show you. This has 100% original 1978 parts, right down to the stickers, to the screws. Everything on here came from another 1978 Kenner Star Wars X-Wing fighter. And I'm proud of it. It came out very nice. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to throw it on my eBay store soon for auction. Because I resell what I do. Otherwise I'd have I need that warehouse. But it's just as nice as my original that I have in my collection. The difference is my original I have in my collection is something I've had since I was a child. This I haven't had since I was a child. And I started thinking, I'm like, well, here's the thing. I heard a story recently, actually. Recently, I heard somebody talking about, and let me just tell you the story. There's a man who bought a boat. Years and years and years and years ago, long time ago, he bought a boat. A ship. And he loved that ship. That ship was his baby. He'd take that ship and do his job, whatever he was shipping back and forth. Eventually, it needed work. So he'd pull into the port and they'd replace a couple wooden panels and, whatever the problem was, so working parts and stuff like that. And he passed that ship down to his son. Well, same thing. Son thought it was his dad's ship. It was so important to him. And he shipped things in the ocean and and still things would go wrong with it. So he'd pull it into port and he'd get it repaired. He'd pass it on to his son. Same thing. Did his shipping, whatever they were doing. I don't know. Let's call them, call them shrimp fishers. Or oyster. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So anyway, the grandson has the ship, and here it is that would be about 50, 60 years later, still riding the ship around, doing his thing, still having problems with it, still having parts replaced, He gave it to his son. So now we're talking about 100 years, just for the sake of argument, 100 years. And that ship has had literally every single piece on it replaced. So my question is, over those 100 years of that ship, having, breakdowns and having parts replaced, is it the same ship? Or is it a brand new ship? And that's what I was thinking about while I was finishing this guy tonight. I'm like, is this really the same ship that it was back in 1978? Because it has all kind of pieces, parts from other ships to complete it. And like I said, everything you see on here is from 1978, the Kenner Star Wars X-Wing. But it put together to make another ship. But whose ship was it? It was something in my brain that I thought it might make an interesting video, an interesting story. So that's why we're talking tonight. I do enjoy bringing these things back from the grave, putting them back together, and here's something for a collector that they're going to enjoy, especially this one because it's 100% original Kenner parts. And a lot of collectors are really fussy about that. I also put out different toys and stuff with replacement parts too. If I make the replacement part myself, I always make it different, so it's obvious it's not a repro, it's my own style. So I'll change it a little bit. So that way if a real collector looks at it, they're like, oh, well, this has some fake parts, as people like to call them. I don't call them fake parts, they're custom parts. It's like, let's say this landing piece right here. I've made this before. The one I make doesn't look anything like this. It works, but it doesn't look anything like it. So that way nobody gets, because people will pass off a fake part as the real deal, and I would never do that. It always comes with a disclaimer. It always comes with just some little bugaboo that just shows you that it's not the real deal. Now, like I said, this one, 100% original Kenner parts. This one is the second one I did tonight, and the microphone's in a way. This has, I should have set up the other camera, I'm sorry. This has, the canopies, something I made myself. The stickers, there's no other word to say it let me show it this way. These are repro stickers. I made them myself. Not my own design. You need the stickers. So, but if a collector looks at it, they can see the paper's not right and they're too perfect. They are not the real deal. What else did I do on this one? The cannons are real. Landing gear. This isn't the landing gear I was talking about earlier. I did not make that. That's real too. When I fixed the wings are repaired because they're supposed to do this. And these rings were broken, but I fixed them. It's what I do. Now, I'm okay. Whenever I do sell this on eBay, I will tell people, hey, this is what I did. It's a Jenner Custom Toys custom, I get the electronics working. Oh, here's something that I think is interesting. If you like this toy, this is the one that doesn't have all original. But I want you to hear this. That's the way the noise is supposed to sound. A lot of the older ones, a lot of the ones that other people and myself have gotten working sound like this. Now, this is the one that has all the original Kenner parts. But do you hear the difference? You have, and maybe I should swap the motors now that I think about it. This was the original noise, and a lot of us don't remember this. They get one that sounds like that, and they're happy about it. That loud squealing noise was the original Kenner sound for the X-Wing fighters and the TIE fighters. Also, that come out in 78, which I don't have one of those sitting here. But even this one, that's a tired engine. It's a tired motor. I personally have a tired motor. I don't know about y'all. I'm 56 years old. I'm wearing down. I can't do what I used to do years ago. I don't think I mentioned this before this past week. I've been sick all week. My dumbass went and gave myself food poisoning last Wednesday. Went out with my wife, had some fun, came home, did a video, and I was hungry, but I didn't feel like cooking, so I just grabbed some cold cuts out of the refrigerator and just scarfed them down. I'm like, okay, good, and I went to bed. Didn't think much of it. Woke up the next morning, and my wife tells me that these cold cuts that I ate, which was ham, and I don't even eat ham, but I did that night, were spoiled. I was a little nauseous on Thursday, but it got so much worse. So yeah, I had food poisoning for the past week. I'm just getting over it now. Not fun. I don't recommend it. Always check your expiration dates, and when in doubt, throw it out. So there's your little helpful hint for the night. But coming back to my original point about the boat, if you eventually, over time, replace every single part of the boat or the toy in this matter, is it the same toy? Like if you find your childhood toy in the attic and it's all busted up, and someone like me restores it, or you restore it yourself, is it still the same toy? Or is it repaired? Or is it a brand new toy? Well, not a brand new toy, but would it be a substitution for what you used to have? That's my question tonight. Please leave it in the comments. I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this. I know it's a little philosophical. Yeah, sometimes I do get a little philosophical. But, yeah. Let me know what you think. In the meantime, I got some other cool stuff coming up. I almost did a live stream tonight. I was going to live stream my whole day and just see if anybody was interested. But, yeah, I don't think I have enough people interested to do a live stream. If you're interested in me doing a live stream on the next time I do restorations, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do it. Anyway, for now, I hope you guys are doing well. I will catch you later, and, well, bye.
Thank you for joining us today. Please like and subscribe so Bruce doesn't bitch about it to me later. And don't forget Jenna Custom Toys on eBay.
It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.